Oh, shoot. I guess I should pin myself. Hi, everyone. Welcome to our first Dream Team chat, getting back into the fall and winter swing of things. We are kind of diving back into our normal routine, and we're kicking it off with a very special guest tonight talking to us about our incentive because our incentive started this month. And so we are 6 days in to planning for going to Greece. And so I am so excited for this incentive. This is going to be an incredible experience. It's also going to be an incredible business season. And so we're so happy that you guys are here, whether you're watching the replay or you're here live. All of you are ready and excited about planning what it looks like for you to earn this incentive, which it is 100% possible for all of you. And I just wanted to give that encouragement right on the front end. All of you are capable of earning this. Alex said it just a minute ago. It's going to take some stretching and some growing and stepping outside of your comfort zone. And for some of us, it might take like some really big leaps of faith and some really like casting our nets wide. But trust and believe that whether you hit the high mark on this incentive or you fall a little bit short of what your goal was, your business is going to be thriving and growing in the midst of it. And it's going to thank you in the long run. Truly, you're going to have a blooming business at the end of this incentive period and for years to come if you walk down this path of earning this incentive. So that's all I'm going to say about it, because Julie is here from the home office. She is the consultant development manager, and we are so blessed to have her. And so I'm going to switch her over and make her a host. Julie, I'm so excited that you're here.
Yay! I'm so excited to be here. Am I host now? Let me see.
Hold on just a second. I think I need to give me just 1 second.
It's all good. It asked me to do something and I just clicked it. So
Okay. Let me do that. Change host, and then you're gonna have to make you the spotlight. So
Oh,
yeah,
let me see.
if you click on the three little dots by your picture, it should say replace. There you go. Perfect.
There I am. Well, I don't love looking at just myself, but that's okay because I have a PowerPoint. So I'm going to put that up in just a second. I was looking through the chat or the pictures, and I feel like I don't know a lot of you. But if you've never met me before, I'm Julie Timmig. I'm on the consultant development and training team, like Bree said. I don't know if you haven't seen me before. Let's see, my boss is Jason Harwood, and Sarah Walker's my coworker. So I think that's kind of where people put me. If you're not sure who this person is, that's where I'm trying to get to. Let me throw my screen on. Just taking a second to get to right now. That should be a totally blank screen, but not for long because I've got a cute PowerPoint. Okay. Like I said, I'm Julie Timmig. I'm from the home office. I'm obviously at my home office with my artwork from my 4-year-old. And if you hear screaming, it's my 4-year-old. My 15-month-old is sleeping, thank goodness. So it's just mom life over here right now. I've got wet hair. We just went to the pool right before dinner and just doing the mom stuff. I'm sure some of you, if not all of you, can relate. I'm really excited to be here, talk about the incentive. I hope all of you are excited because when we heard the announcement, by the way, I didn't know where the incentive was going to be either. So when we heard the announcement at SFR, we were like, "What? That's amazing." So if anybody needs an extra +1, just let me know. Throw me in a suitcase. I'll try to squeeze it in. But for real, it is going to be an amazing time to even just getting there. And I'm going to talk a little bit about this year's incentive trip qualifications, but even more importantly, I'm going to talk about how you can create a plan to make the most of this incentive period and beyond. So first, I like to get some interaction in the comments, and I know some people hear that and go, "Oh gosh, please no." But please talk to me. Tell me in the chat what motivates you about this current incentive. Tell me in the chat what motivates you about this current incentive. I want to see. It's a bucket list destination. Yeah, it totally is, right? Yes, taking my husband on vacation. Oh, because he deserves it. Yeah. Paid SFR. Woo! It's been on my bucket list. Dream trip. I don't think I could ever go for myself. I think that can be super motivating. Once in a lifetime. That picture right there, right? I know it's beautiful. I can't stand it. I've never dreamed of going to Greece. A lot of you are saying bucket list. Also excited earning the incentive will help build a better business in the long term. Jessica, you are jumping ahead of my PowerPoint, but I love it. I love the attitude. Greece, I love water. Bucket list, you guys. Bucket lists are amazing and also like slightly depressing if you think about it too hard. So we'll not think about it too hard. But I love that it's like a once in a lifetime thing and all the Greek food. Beth, you are speaking my language. When I travel, it's about the food. Everything else is secondary. Um, Also never earned a trip and would love to experience a Scentsy incentive. Clarissa, you and me both. I would also love to experience a Scentsy incentive, as I only hear good things. Scentsy style straight luxury. I have only heard that it's incredible. Oh my gosh, good. This is good. A good thing we got going already because I can tell that you guys are going to talk to me and we have things to talk about in this training. Going to Europe, yes. Daughter birthday and Christmas, yes. I love it. I love it. Okay, I'm moving. Where'd my slide go? There you go. Okay, so this call will not be combing through all of the trip specifics. And since that's the case, I do want to make sure that we know just where we're going to find all the information. So I said this before, I didn't know much about the incentive before everybody else did, and I've never earned one before because I'm not a consultant. So in terms of like the ins and outs of the points and things, we have all that information for you. I just want to show you real quick on the slide where you can find those things. You're going to go up to more on your dashboard, then scroll down to incentives, click on that, and then you'll get to a page that has an overview, track your progress. We're going to talk about trackers in a little bit, to how to earn, and FAQ. So really, like, so many things are already available. Everything you know is available. Everything you need to know is available to you there. And I heard both your leaders say it before the call started. If you have questions, like, please reach out to your leaders about it. So let's quickly look, just speaking of numbers, let's quickly look at the 5 levels for this incentive. And this incentive is different because there are 5 levels. It used to really, I think since I've been here, it's only really been 3. I just had an alert saying people entered the waiting room. Come on in, everybody. Sorry, that was a squirrel moment. Come on in, join us. Okay, so we're just gonna look through the points and point structure. So the levels that are different, level 1 is registration for Scentsy Family Reunion. And if you just went in Orlando, like, you know, it's a party. It's amazing. Level 2 is a trip for 1 without the flights. Level 3 is a trip for 1 with the flights. Level 4 is a trip for 1 with your flight, and then a guest included, but not their flight. And then level 5 is a trip for 2 with flights included. And you'll see the points needed there and the required sponsoring points needed on the side as well for each of those levels. So look at the point earning structure under the How to Earn tab, and that's going to be again on your dashboard and under incentives. And just look at all the ways that you can rack up those points because it breaks down different things that you can do to get to that. I think one last thing I want to mention before anything else, before I get going to the real meat of what I want to talk about, there's plenty of things to see on the incentives page. And again, I'll let you do it on your own time, but something I really want to point out. If you scroll to the bottom of the page about starting to earn points, you're going to see some point breakdowns. And I put them up on the screen for you, really small, but just by starting title. So for this one, it's if you were going to earn the trip for 1 with flights included, this would be your point breakdown based on your starting title. And I love that Scentsy is smart. And I say that with full bias because I work there. But Scentsy is pretty smart because we put your starting title because many people promote during the incentive period, right? So if your starting title is a star consultant, you can look at that points breakdown and kind of get a good idea, good plan of what's going to need to happen for you to earn level, I think that's level 3 of the trip. Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but looking at numbers can stir up a lot of feelings for me. they can they give me lots of feelings. And I'm curious because I don't want to just shout numbers at you. I want to know if you're comfortable, throw in the chat like one word to describe how you're feeling so far about the incentive. What's one word that could describe how you're feeling about the incentive so far? And we're all friends here. Remember, I said I would go in your suitcase, so we got to be friends. All right, some people are saying excited, committed, motivated. Michelle says, I'm a numbers person. Encouraged, overwhelmed, nervous, bold, pumped, fearless, nervous. People who've said nervous, I'll tell you this. I used to be a theater teacher, like a public speaking and theater teacher for high schoolers. And I always tell the kids, when you're nervous, it means that you care. And teenagers don't love when people know that they care about stuff. But when you're nervous, it's an indicator that you care. So it's okay to have those nerves. It's all good. Anxious, yes. Overwhelmed, I get it. Totally. Shout them out because you know what? People in the chat, this group, there are many of you that are feeling the same way. And I want to talk more about that as I go. This connection piece, this built-in community that we have, it's important. And you're going to need this community if you want to earn this incentive. Okay. All right. I'm going to move to, if my clicker will click, there we go. Remember, and I think I heard Alex say it at the top, incentives are designed to stretch you. And just like when you stretch a muscle or you learn a new skill or you build and maintain relationships, things might get difficult and even uncomfortable eventually, right? It's up to you to decide if you're going to have a defeatist attitude, which is like, oh, it's too hard. I'm out. I'm not even going to try. I'm too overwhelmed. I'm out. Or if you're going to have a resilient attitude. And a resilient attitude is saying like, challenge accepted. I'm doing it. And a lot of you have already been in that resilient attitude. It doesn't mean that defeatist kind of brain won't pop up now and then, but let your resilient brain win. Challenge accepted, even at the times where it feels icky and hard, right? So I hope you have something to write with. And if you're driving or otherwise occupied, be safe. We're recording this so you can revisit and listen to my amazing voice over and over again. But if you have something to write with and something to write on, grab it. Make sure if you're not already doing it, because we're going to go through and create what we like to call a C6 plan. Okay. This is a C6 plan. And of course, this method could work for all kinds of goals. But today we're going to focus on the incentive, right? We may as well. Yes. All right. Michelle says, but I'm still scared, LOL. I know. It's okay, though. It's okay. All right. In our C6 plan, the first C stands for clear. You need to be clear about what level you want and how you're going to earn it. So if you know you want to earn level 3, but you don't have a clear action plan, you're going to be, there's a good chance it's not going to happen the way that you want it to. And you're going to be more and more frustrated. When you come up with specifics of your plan, it can be helpful to work backward. And I like to talk about this when I'm in coaching calls with leaders who struggle with like prioritizing and scheduling, working backwards and starting with month, week, day, right? So think about what needs to happen monthly to earn this incentive, think about what needs to happen weekly to earn the incentive, and then think about what you need to do every day to get to where you want to be. So instead of saying, I need 60,000 points, how much PRV is that monthly? And how many parties or fundraisers do I need to be holding monthly to hit that targeted PRV? Think about it more clearly in the breaking it down into small bits. So the more clear you get on identifying exactly what you need to do to earn the incentive, the more you're setting yourself up for success. Okay? So let's start, and I've seen a few of you already doing it, and you could do this in the chat if you want to as well, to just kind of be together. Take a moment and write down your clarity statement. So where you want to be, and a good place to start would be just identifying what level you want to earn. What level are you shooting for? That's a good place to start being clear. Good. I see some people writing it down, and some people putting it in the chat. I want to earn level 5. I'm working to earn level 5. Nice. Aiming for level 5. Look at you guys. Yes. Level 5. Amazing. Wow. Level 5, level 5, level 3, level 5. This is awesome, you guys. Great. Good. I think this is a really good start to making your C6 plan. All the levels. Yes. Yes. All right. The next C in our C6 plan is concise. So if your plan is confusing, it's going to be harder to stick to. So make your goals and your plan as concise as possible. And there are many ways to earn points. I love that Scentsy lets you pick and choose where you want to focus, and you can treat it kind of buffet style. So you get to pick your path. However, you're not intended to do all of it all of the time. So the more concise you keep your plan, the easier it's going to be to stick to. A general guideline that works pretty well is you should be able to explain how you're going to earn the trip to someone who isn't a Scentsy consultant. So if you're not able to explain that very well, then you might consider bringing it in and making it a little more concise. If it's too hard to explain to someone who's not in Scentsy, then it might not be concise enough. And being concise helps you to stay driven and focused. Okay, so that's C, concise. I'm gonna move on to the next C. The third C in our plan is compelling. When you start in on something hard, it has to drive you, right? And our incentive trips themselves are pretty compelling just all on their own. Just the idea of going on a Scentsy trip, the locations, the room drops, all the things that happen, all those things are really compelling. But what else about working toward an incentive trip is compelling to you? And I want to know, so throw it in the chat. What else, and I kind of talked about this a little bit before, what else about working toward an incentive trip is compelling to you? Is it the idea that something may happen? Is the idea of something happen compelling to you? Vacationing with my friends, that is compelling to me. To make me proud of myself. I love that, Michelle. Time with my hubby, that's compelling. Getting spoiled by Scentsy, very compelling. The accomplishment is compelling. Alyssa, you and I have a similar brain. I like the feeling of accomplishment. Knowing my business will be healthy and stronger, yeah. The idea that you've pushed yourself and you did something hard, that is a huge compelling reason. Business growth, taking my mom and daughter on a nice trip. I love it. All of the above. Jessica's like, yeah, amen. All the things. Yes. Achieving a big goal, accomplishment. You guys got this. 6 months is a good chunk of time to be working toward a singular goal, right? 6 months can feel long. When you look back, and I feel like because my kids are little, I have this perspective, especially like 6 months feels like forever in the moment, but then I look back and I'm like, 6 months, that was nothing. It passed by so fast. But 6 months is a good amount of time to work on one singular goal. And there are going to be times that you feel discouraged or even burned out. And in those moments, I'd encourage you to remember your vision or to do the following, like Dolly Parton says. And she said, if you don't like the road you're walking, start paving another one. I think this is a really interesting take that I don't hear a ton of people talking about. If you're really head to the ground working on this incentive, working on all the things, and it's just not happening the way that you're expecting it to, and you're starting to resent the road, the way to get there, you're starting to feel negative and feeling like burned out and want to quit, change the road. If you're like, I need to hit level 5 and level 5 is just not happening, there is somebody in the waiting room. I admitted them. Hello. Let's say you want to hit level 5 and level 5 is just not happening. You, instead of continuing to resent the feelings and get burned out, change your road. It's okay to say, I'm going to do level 4 and I'm going to do it with renewed strength because I feel motivated. But if you lose motivation on that road, change the road before you quit. Okay, I really think Dolly Parton's like amazing. I want to go to Dollywood, and if you've been there, I want to know all about it. All right. The next C, this is the fourth C in our C6 plan, is consistent. And we hear this word constantly in Scentsy, right? In regards to being a consultant and trying to do our best, consistency. When it comes to an incentive, every single day matters. If you go into an incentive period with a mindset of procrastination, you will already put yourself behind. So avoid the desperate pushing in January and start with concerted effort now in August, right? I will tell you there's another person in the waiting room. You guys, it's stress being me. I will tell you that I have a Facebook page, and by the way, you're welcome to add me on Facebook if you'd like. Julie Timig Scentsy. It's my work Facebook, right? January is my least favorite time to be on my work Facebook because there's panic. There's like a lot of panic, and I'm friends with 1,000 consultants, so I see all the panic of, I need this much more. I need this many more points. I need this. And then just the desperation, and it stresses me out. I think I break out in pimples in January every time. Save yourself the heartache and the stress, and don't wait till January to push. Start pushing now. That's what we're talking about, is making a plan so that you're not just hammering it in January, right? So I'm curious, and you can sound off in the chat. What are some ways that you try to maintain consistency? And this could be life or business, but what are some of the ways that you try to maintain consistency? And remember, your answer in the chat could help somebody else. That's why I love this. Having habits that I do daily. Yes. Yeah, you're breaking things into small chunks. Following up is something you do consistently, and connecting. We're a relationship business, right? I know people say that Scentsy's a party planning company, but I think we are a relationship business. Party planning company, relationship business. Hold myself accountable daily, habits and systems, accountability partners. Yes, we're going to talk about that later. I struggle with consistency and you guys are fast in lots of aspects of life, and I'm working on creating systems for myself. Lindsay, good. Yeah. I will say there's as many ways to be a Scentsy consultant as there are Scentsy consultants. It's kind of like there's as many ways to be a human as there are humans, because we're all very different. Different things motivate us. Different things distract us, different things keep us on track. So don't be afraid to try different systems, and if it doesn't work, try a new one. Yes. Small goals each week. I love it. Sharing my Scentsy life, sharing my love for my business. Yes. Yeah. Those things help you maintain that consistency. And at some point, like when it comes to, I'm looking at Michelle's response, sharing my Scentsy life, it becomes so second nature the more consistent you are. So it doesn't feel like, oh my gosh, I'm doing a thing that's really hard. It's like, oh, I'm just doing the thing that I do. I recently, in the last few months, started kickboxing again. I used to kickbox before my kids were born. Um, and I kickbox at 5 a.m. I am not a morning person whatsoever, but I literally don't have another minute in my day that makes sense to do kickboxing. So I do it at 5 a.m. and I've become consistent enough in it that when I don't do it, I feel so much worse during the day. I'm thrown off because I've become consistent enough in my 5 a.m. wake up and kick a bag thing that when I'm not doing it, I feel the effects. Um, and by the way, it's super fun. I mean, even if you're not like angry about anything, it's just really fun to punch stuff. So highly recommend. All right. The fifth C in the C6 plan is committed. So think of this as making a pinky promise with yourself. Decide right now that you're going to do what it takes, even after you have a bad mood on bad days, even when you're feeling uninspired or tired, even when you don't feel like it, even after setbacks and disappointments, because I can pretty much guarantee that at some point over this earning period, something isn't going to go as you planned it. You might have like a party flop or a new teammate that seemed like they were really fired up and then they do nothing, or somebody quits that you didn't think was going to quit. Pinky promise yourself now that you're going to stay committed. Because at the end of the day, right? This is you work. This is what you do. And unfortunately, we can't control what everybody else around us does, but you stay committed. Another way to stay committed, and we've talked about this a little bit too, is to be prepared to learn, to experiment, and to try new things or things you haven't done in a while. For example, and I actually went out and kind of Facebook stalked the leadership pages a little bit. Many consultants find success this time of year in an incentive period by partnering with their communities and hosting fundraisers. That's one of the big things that people said, I need a PRV boost, I need to get new customers. Great way to do that, fundraisers. I mentioned before that I was a theater teacher at high school. I used to have Scentsy fundraisers. I'll tell you, even though I was overwhelmed at the beginning of the school year, I loved it when my Scentsy consultant came to me and said, when you're ready, let's do a fundraiser. I've got you covered. And I would go, thank goodness. I have it set for the year. And if you're in the US, and I think most of us are, but if you're in the US, most districts, if you're working with like clubs or things in schools, most districts have to go through an approval process to have a fundraiser. So it's not just asking a teacher, can I do a fundraiser? The teacher says yes. The teacher has to submit paperwork to the district. The district has to take it through an approvals meeting. They have to vote on it being okay, right? Some of you already know this stuff, but just so you know, like now is a great time when school is starting to get a little bug in your teacher friend's ears and say, I'm here for you. I'm ready. I can help you do all the things. Okay. But just know that there's a process. So I've heard a lot of consultants say how effective fundraisers have been for them around this time of year. Other consultants have said like they do their own special programs during during incentive periods. They do their own subscription boxes or events or parties, whatever you want to call them. You may also want to take an all of the above approach and treat every product program or every product category that we have as its own separate revenue stream. So think about Whiffbox, think about Scentsy Club, Scent Warmer of the Month, limited time offers, catalog, etc., right? Think of all of those as their own separate revenue stream. And if you're doing that all of the above approach, you're casting a wide net. I think Alex said it earlier. You're casting a wide net and you're not leaving anything out. I feel like I've talked about myself a lot. And so here's another thing about me. I do not warm. I do not have warmers and wax like hanging out in my house all day long. It makes my husband like his head just, it kills him. So I am a Buddies Counter Clean and Body Products customer. If you're making sure that you have a wide range, and by the way, those are products that people never know Scentsy sells. I shouldn't say never, but I live here and people don't know, oh, Scentsy has stuffed animals? What? Right? Isn't that crazy? So just think about like the Julies in your in your audience. I do not do warmers and wax, and I work at Scentsy. I do the other stuff, and so you really do need to hit on those as well. But thinking of every product program, every product category as its own separate thing, right? And just not throwing everything into one PRV bundle, but trying to sanction them out. I think that can be a really helpful thing. Bottom line, you need to be willing to put in the work because it's work, and it's going to be a little bit more work than you're probably currently doing, which is okay because incentives are meant to stretch you. So I want you to just think about it, and this could be something that you think about on your own or discuss as a team later, but how could you treat, I've said this a lot, how could you treat every product category as their own separate revenue stream? How could you do that? You could put it in the chat if you want to, but also you could talk about it as a team later. And what have you done, or what could you do, or what have you seen other people do to make each product category its own separate revenue stream? Just to think about, because I'm going to move on. Oh my gosh, I just messed everything up. I'm going to move on to the final C. The final C in your C6 plan is courage. And we touched a little bit on this already, but I think it's really important to reiterate the importance of your mindset. So remember that courage isn't a lack of fear or discomfort. It's acting despite your fear and discomfort. Every single one of us has courage, and we're born with it. And courage happens in the smaller moments more often than it happens in a big heroic display. So remember again, courage is not the lack of fear or discomfort. It is acting despite it. So you will feel uncomfortable. You will be afraid. You will be nervous. And you are deciding now to act. So I want to practice with you. And this is in the chat too. Let's practice being courageous. All of us are. So let's do it. We're going to take these sentences. I'm going to say a sentence, and you're going to switch my sentence into a statement of affirmation. So you're going to take my fearful sentence and switch it around. Okay? Here's my first sentence. It looks too hard, so I'm not even going to try. What would you say to switch it around? It looks too hard, so I'm not even going to try. How would you switch it? Ooh, you guys are all talking at the same time. It will be challenging, but I will try my best. Yes, despite how hard it is, I'm going to go for it. I like both of those because it is acknowledging how hard it still is. You're not being delusional, being like, it's not hard at all. Like, it's going to be hard. That's the whole point. I'm going to try even though it's difficult. It might be hard. I'm going to love the challenge. Knock one thing out at a time. You guys are awesome at this. Okay, next one. Oh, Mary said, It will be challenging, but I'm committed to the business I'm building. Yes, you guys are great. Next sentence. Here, change it to something courageous. I've tried everything. Why would this time be any different? I've tried everything. Why would this time be any different? This time, everything might fall into place. You guys all trying something new this time. Yes, going to try something new, and this could be it. My time to shine. Yes. Tried a lot of things, but I'm sure there's something I haven't thought of yet. Yes, we love the word yet. I will follow through. Repetitive marketing works. Yeah. This time things could be different. You guys, if I have a bad day, I'm coming to you. This is good. I'm going to keep trying until it happens for me. These are good affirmations. These are good. I have two more. By the way, I coach leaders, and I've been at Scentsy for 4 years, and I pulled these out of my hat because I've heard them before. And if you've been around a while, you probably nod your head and be like, yeah, I've heard these too. And maybe I've even thought them, right? So here's another one. Only the top leaders earn incentives. So what's the point? How would you turn that sentence into a courageous sentence? Only the top leaders earn incentives. So what's the point? I'm just as capable as they are. I love that. I'm going to earn this incentive because one day I too will be a top leader. Yes. I'm worthy. I'm as worthy as anyone. Yes, I'm a leader too. They can do it. I can do it too. Scensy's created this incentive for everyone, and I am capable too. Yeah, I will say, but there is no like gotcha in Scentsy that I've ever seen. There's no like, "Ooh, we gotcha." It's really like as good as it seems like it is. Everyone is capable of earning this incentive. Top earners.
I'm on a call, but
Oh, I didn't know if somebody was talking to me or not. It sounded like they stopped. Yes. Okay. Last one. There's no way I can get those sponsoring points. How do you turn that around? There's no way I can get those sponsoring points. Everything is possible. I love that, Norma. Yes. This one's a hard one because I think a lot of people feel it sometimes. I cannot wait to find new people to introduce the opportunity of Scentsy so I can earn the sponsoring points. Yes. Lindsay, I love that. I'm going to push the comfort zone. Yeah, you will. I will do all I can to succeed and go the distance. Yeah. You guys, these are good. These are good. I want you to remember these, the ones that people have said in the chat and also ones you wrote yourself, because some of these things are going to happen and you might feel them, and that's okay. I'm going to do my best to make this happen. There are more people out there who will love Scentsy as much as I do. Yay! You guys are great. Yes. Remember these things in those moments because those moments will happen. And you know that there are people behind you and people with you and next to you that are helping you along. Your C6 plan is pretty personal to you. And if we had hours and hours and hours, we could walk through all the details of all of them together, but we don't. So I encourage you to take notes from today and find a quiet, reflective time to go through and create your own plan. So earning already started, so you don't want to wait, right? We talked about that a little bit. Write out your plan and get to work. Schedule when you're going to craft your plan and treat it like an appointment. So stick to it. So I want you to put in the chat right now, when are you going to make your plan? You throw it in the chat. When are you going to make your plan? And remember, you can be specific. Today, I'm making my plan today. I've already started my plan. Already made it. Yes, look at you guys. Planning right now. Already started. Yeah, and the last time I did this call, earlier today, I had a few people say, tomorrow I have time at 9 a.m. It's from 9 to 10 a.m. and I'm going to sit down and I'm going to do it. And I'm like, great. That's holding yourself to an appointment. That's awesome. Yes, I love this. Here's a couple of tips. Hit recruiting hard in the beginning. Hit recruiting hard in the beginning of the earning period, because it can be more of a challenge for a November, December recruit to hit sensational start with all the hustle and bustle of the holidays. So hit recruiting hard now, soon. But if they join now with the transition month, and then the new catalog next month is followed up by the highest selling fall holiday months, right? A new recruit will be set up for success in that way too. So hit recruiting hard now. Again, this C6 plan stuff, this is the you work of goal setting and visualization. And I believe that goals are most effective when you have a support system around you. So ask yourself, who's going to help me get there? Who's going to help me get to this incentive? Share your goals and your milestones with an accountability buddy, a pacing partner, whatever you want to call them. And by the way, I think if you're working for that trip for two, let's say it's like your spouse, your husband or something, like I would be like, see that stack of catalogs? You better be bringing those to work too. If you want to get on this trip, you better put some time in. Um, but all jokes aside, I think that your spouse could be a really good accountability buddy. Some people are like, absolutely not. I need somebody else who knows what's going on and speaks the Scentsy language. Great. Find a consultant who you can check in with and be there for. Your leaders, your sponsors, your upline, they can be great coaches for you. A lot of them have been trained to be coaches, and coaches, their whole thing is action planning and accountability. So think about that. And also, nobody says that you have to have one accountability buddy. You can spread the word, let people know. Great things can happen when you open up and let others see what your heart wants and what you desire. So think about this when you're making your plan. Here's a question to write down in your notebook, whatever you're writing on. What qualities do I look for in an accountability buddy? What qualities do I look for in an accountability buddy? Is it someone who's going to cheer me up on the hard days? Is it someone who's going to give me tough love? Is it someone who isn't going to say much, but I know I can just tell them what's going on? Everybody's different. So write that question down again. What qualities do I look for in an accountability buddy? And then take time tomorrow or tonight to reflect on that. And then somebody will come to mind, or someone's. Many people could come to mind. All right. I know I'm still talking. It's amazing, right? But don't worry, I'm going to give the floor over to Steve Harvey. Just briefly, before I wrap up, I want to leave you. He has this like really short, profound message as you go into this incentive period. I just want to leave this with you. Okay. I hope you hear it.
Everybody has a turn back moment. You have a moment where you can go forward or you can give up. But the thing you have to keep in mind before you give up is that if you give up, the guarantee is it will never happen. That's the guarantee of quitting, that it will never happen no way under the sun. The only way the possibility remains that it can happen is if you never give up no matter what.
I love that. I mean, like, there's not even that much to add to it. I think when you have that turn back moment, and you might have one, and you might have a few, remember your plan, your reasons, and remember the people who support you. So, because we support you at home office and we want to see you have all the success that you work for, we put together a little present in the form of a little folder. If you scan this QR code, it's going to take you to a Google Drive folder. And it has inspiration pictures for you to print off or to put on your desktop or your phone or whatever, help you visualize your incentive trip. We've also included 2 trackers that were built out by consultants that we found to be really nice and super helpful. One of them is built through Canva. It's a little more basic, kind of gives you an idea. I know some of you we talked about already having a tracker. The other tracker was made, and I said I was going to remember their name and now I've forgotten it. But he created, like, if you're into Excel and if you're into like number spreadsheet stuff, he created like a auto populating kind of one that you can, he did all the formulas for it, and it's awesome. I will say again though, we didn't create it. We just sourced these from other consultants and thought they were really nice. So if you have troubles with them, don't call consultant support because they will not know what you're talking about. I did put in the actual file in the Word doc or whatever it is, the name of the consultants. So I feel bad for not knowing them off the top of my head right now, but their names are there, and I guess you could probably reach out if you would like to. I also have the link to the Google Drive folder that I can send to Bree and Alex if this QR code's not going for everybody. Some people haven't really worked with QR codes much, but we just wanted to make sure that you guys had something from us. Yes, thank you, Shannon Carter and Dylan Campbell. Yeah, rock stars. We're so happy that they helped us with that. But again, yeah, those are there for you guys, and that we support you and we're here for you. And I have time for Q&A or anything you guys want to talk about, but that was what I had for my thing.
Yay! Thank you so much, Julie.
Yeah.
That was
Anytime.
so good. Will you do me a favor? Will you stop recording for us and then you can keep the hosting up?
Sure.